This random road story is about the time that I worked in Boise, Idaho. I was working with the headliner from LA. It was a female comic, very funny lady. I can't remember her name, but the thing that I do remember about the story is she let me borrow her car because she drove into town. I flew into town, so I didn't have a car. We were staying at the same hotel in separate rooms, of course. And we was there for a week. I think we did a couple of one-nighters, and then the weekend we did the club there in Boise. I don't even remember the name of the club, but I know that she had a car, and she was the type of person that didn't do a lot of socializing. She just kind of hung out in her room, and she knew that I didn't have a car, so she said, "John, if you need to run some errands or you need to go, to the store, pick up some food or whatever, you could use my car. You're more than welcome to use my car." And I was like, cool. And I thought that was a very nice gesture. So a couple of days I borrowed her car and I went and ran some errands and picked up some stuff that I needed. So we did a show there in Boise on a Friday and Saturday because it was a weekend club. So we did a show that Friday. We did a couple shows that Friday. I didn't do anything after the show. I just came back to the room and hung out. Well, that Saturday rolled around, and I borrowed her car during the day, early that day on a Saturday. She gave me the keys to the car and said I was more than welcome to use it. Well, when I got back, I didn't give her keys back. I kept the keys, and I had the keys all day. And she knew I had the keys, and she knew her car was, parked out in the parking lot. Well, for some dumbass reason, I thought it would be okay for me to take her car that night after we did our second show. We come back to the room, and I still got the keys, but she had a second set of keys, so she never asked me for the keys back, and I really forgot to give her keys back. And so that night, I was kind of bored. I hadn't really checked this town out that much. So I took her car and I drove into downtown Boise. And I just asked around to where there was a live band playing. So some people told me. So I go over to this club and there's a band playing. And really good band. So I was playing harmonica once again at that time, so my thing was always to see if I could sit in and stuff. So I talked to the guys that was in the band. I asked them if I could play a couple tunes with them, and they was like, "Sure, man. What key you play in? Is there a particular song?" And I was like, "It don't matter to me what song." So I played a couple of songs with the band. They took a break. So during the break, there was a couple of guys in the club, and they was like, "Hey, man, you're a pretty decent harmonica player." He said, "Are you familiar with Norton Buffalo?" And I was like, "No, I don't know who Norton Buffalo is." Well, it turned out that Norton Buffalo was in town that weekend. He was playing at a different club downtown. It was in a walking distance from where I was hanging out at. They said, "Hey, we're going to go over to this club and you should come, man, because Norton Buffalo is a really good harmonica player, and you might want to go check him out." And I was like, "Sure, man. I'm always up for checking out people that I'm not familiar with, and if they play the same instrument that I'm playing, I'm definitely going to be interested." So we go over to this other club. We walk over to this other club, and I can't remember how much the cover was to get in, or even if there was a cover charge. I just know we ended up in the club, man, and it was kind of late, so I got a chance to see Norton Buffalo play maybe 30, 35 minutes. And the whole time we was there watching the show, the guys were like buying me drinks and stuff. And I had drinks at the club early that night at the comedy club. And I also had drinks at the first club that I went to where the guys let me sit in and jam and stuff. Now, I didn't try to jam with Norton Buffalo because I didn't know him, and it was a paid gig, and I just didn't think it was proper to ask him if I could play. Plus, if there's a guy's a harmonica player, he don't need no other harmonica player coming up playing. So I just stayed in my place, man. Well, after the show was over, there was like three guys now. I think a couple of them was brothers and maybe one of their friends or something. So we go outside, man, after the club is over. and the car was parked maybe, I don't know, maybe a half a block up the street. So the guys were like, "Hey man, we'll give you a ride back up to the car." I was like, "Cool." So I got in the car. They took me back up to where my car was supposed to be parked at, or should I say the headliner's car was supposed to be parked at. We get up here, man, and the car is gone. And my heart just like damn near jumped out of my chest, man. I'm scared as hell, man, because I'm thinking, hey, somebody done stole the damn car. I'm like, this is not good, man. I done took this lady's car. It done got stolen. And I'm hoping like hell she got some insurance. I don't know what to think, man. I'm just going through all kind of emotions and shit, man. Just fearful that I may have to pay for this lady's car or whatever, man. So I tell the guys, man, I said, man, that car ain't here. I think somebody took that lady's car. I said, man, I'm bummed the fuck out, man. I don't know what to do, man. So the dudes was like, well, look, man, we can give you a ride back to where you're staying. And I was like, I really appreciate that, man. So I got in the car, man, and they're driving. I give them directions on where I'm staying, so they driving over there. So they go, well, man, look. He said, well, one thing for sure, that car is already gone, so you might as well just hang out with us a little while, man. We got some amps and some guitars and some instruments set up over at our crib, man. Why don't you just come over and hang out and jam out with us a little bit? And I'm like, dude, I'm really ain't in the mood for that. I said, I got to go back and tell this lady that her damn car done got stolen. And these dudes was trying to convince me to go fucking jamming with them, man. And then all of a sudden, man, I get to thinking, I go, man, you know, you in the car with some total damn strangers. You don't know where the hell they live. They trying to get you to go over their house and do some jamming out. And I'm like, man, shit might not turn out too good. You you semi-intoxicated. And so then I started getting nervous, man, because I'm in the car with three guys I don't know nothing about. So they go, well, man, you ought to think about it, man. I go, man, look, I got to go back to the hotel and at least let this lady know what's happening. Because I'm thinking now, just let me get back to the hotel. I don't want to put up too much resistance because I don't really know what their agenda is. So when I get back to the hotel, man, I go to the comic's room. I knock on the door. She opened the door. And I say, look, somebody done, like, took your car. And I apologize. And she said, did nobody take my car? I took my car. She said, look out there. My car is parked right there. And I look, man, and she had came and got her car herself and drove it back to the hotel. It was drove back to the motel is what it was. It was a motel. She had a friend to take her up there and drive her, and she drove her car back. And she was pissed as hell too, because I took that car and didn't ask her. And she said, what made you think you could just take my car? And didn't say nothing, didn't ask my permission. I said, well, I wasn't really thinking. I said, I knew you were the type person to hang out and stuff, so I figured it would be cool if I just took the car and just hung out a little bit. She said, I didn't give you permission. I gave you permission to drive the car earlier that day. I didn't give you permission to take the car at night and just go, driving around town in it. I say, well, look, I'm really sorry. And I'm just glad as hell that you came and got that car because I was about to trip the fuck out, man, thinking somebody stole this car. So she was pissed, man. She wasn't taking my apology. And the thing about it was, like I said, I flew into town. So she was driving back through Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah. And we had agreed that she would drop me off in Salt Lake City. So the next morning, man, we got up and packed the car up and stuff. And, man, we drove all the way to Salt Lake City, Utah. I don't know how many hours that was. I don't know. I'd say it was at least 3 hours, 3.5 hours, something like that. She did not say one word for me, man. That was the longest, quietest ride I ever been on in my life, man. The only thing good came out of that ride was I got a chance to see the Snake River. That's where Evel Knievel attempted to jump over that Snake River. He didn't make it, but he gave it a valid try, man. So I got a chance to see that. So she drove me to Salt Lake City, man, and she drove straight to the bus station, man, and put my ass out that car. And I found out that the next bus Wasn't going to be leaving till the next morning because I actually was going to another one-nighter, and I was going to catch the bus there. I can't even remember what city I was going to, but it was a bus ride away, a couple hours and stuff. So I had to go. I had to catch a cab, man, and go get a hotel room for the night. And I had the whole night to think about what had transpired, man. And that was the wrong thing to do, to take that lady's car like that. And um, I would never do something like that again. But that's another one of my road stories, and I'll get back with y'all on the next one. Take care.